Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to, I actually don't even know what Webisode is. I don't even know what fucking day it is, to be fair. We are living in some crazy ass times right now. So I thought, like, let's just keep things as normal as possible, like on the pages, on the YouTube, everything. So I thought I'd do you a Webisode. And obviously this is going to be a lockdown Webisode, but it'll be a Webisode nonetheless. I actually just really wanted to try the Chelsea Winters beer bread thing, since that's something to do, and I don't really bake. I mean, obviously I'm a master chef, you guys all know that from Mean Eats, but I thought I'd give it a go. Why not? Something to do. I ain't got nowhere to go. But I just wanted to also, like, just quickly just touch, like, I hope people are doing okay. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to ask for help. And just go and start calling people just for something to do. I mean, they're probably bored too, and they might like to hear from you. And if they don't pick up, try somebody else. Something to do, and honestly, talking, just ringing up a mate and just shooting the shit, or having a deeper, meaningful, whatever it is, that communication over the next few weeks, that's going to be super important. But actually, before I do anything, I need to get rid of this because, oh shit, we're doing the whole beard thing for the lock-in, and we're going to turn that into a bit of a thing. We had some calls about it. That's going to be a thing, so keep those beards going. But I don't need this isn't part of it, so I'm going to go address that, and then we'll meet back in the kitchen. Alright team, so we're in the kitchen back on the set of Mean Eats, but you're on a tripod because I have a cameraman because we're on fucking lockdown. I did put it out on Instagram to see if we should do this Chelsea Winter beer thing with Corona, because that might be funny, but it actually says on the Chelsea Winter website not to use Corona because it doesn't work as well. I don't know if that's marketing or not, but hey, we've got Carlsberg, that'll do. I think using a light lager will work quite well because it'll give it a lighter, fluffier taste, but I mean, use whatever beer you want. So I'm just going to measure out all this shit and throw it in a bowl. I'm not super loving how this goes in the baking paper and the thing. Maybe I did it wrong, I don't know. Let me know, I'm sure you'll be active in the comments. I'm going to cut just a little bit too much pepperoni, but I'll just eat the rest, that's fine. If anybody wants to weigh in on the quality of my baking skills, particularly the dough side of it, feel free. It's my first time other than making pizza dough. I think we're doing okay. Ooh. That doesn't look too bad. I'm pretty stoked with my first efforts of baking. To be fair, I did put on cheese and pepperoni, so it's basically pizza, and I'm not mad at that at all. But let's crack it open and see what it's like. Actually, I think it needs to sit for a minute, so I'll take some Instagram photos. Seems a lot more like a cake than a pizza, but that's not bad. I'm gonna go figure out what to do for dinner now, but give that a whirl if you're bored. Decent use of your time and a bit of food in you. Can't be bad. Alright, morning team. Something that's going to be, I think, really worth taking the time to do is making sure that just you get up, you have some food, you brush your teeth, and you start the day properly. So I'm going to smash back into that bread and make some toast. It actually disappeared pretty quick. It's actually really good, but it's not very big for the toaster, but didn't have to go to the supermarket. I think most of you know that I'm not one to toot my own horn, but toot toot man, that's fucking awesome. I'm just kind of like looking outside. It's a bit grim. It was raining before. You can't know if you can tell on camera. But I thought I was going to go for a walk and like go and do, I don't know, just go for a walk around the farm, knock over some rabbits or something like that. So The weather does look like it's clearing up, so I think it might be time to throw on the boots and go for a wander and get some exercise. I haven't done much of that, if I'm entirely honest. Actually, while I think of it, before I go out for a walk around, a few people have asked about the hemp oil. I've got some around here somewhere. Here it is. There's a banner on the site. You've heard us talk about it before. A lot of people have been asking about it lately for things like anxiety and stress. I personally don't suffer from anxiety, but things have been stressful and it's been really good for that. But go watch the content on that specifically because it goes into a bunch of depth. Alright, we'll go get some exercise. It kind of occurred to me that I've never really shown you guys around where I live. The house burnt down about 3 years ago and I did promise you guys a house tour, but it's a bit of a mess at the moment, as you may well imagine, but I'll show you the land. So Simba, everything that the light touches is yours, except for that shadowy place over there. That's Helensville, and really only as far as that fence and over the back of those trees. Actually, if any of you are as fortunate as I am to have a bit of land where you can walk around and do a bit of shooting at the moment, just be super careful, practice all your safe practices, just things like that. Just everyone needs to be safe, and the system's strained enough as it is, and people being dickheads and irresponsible really isn't helping, so just safe practice at all times. Hey, I found a rabbit. I was thinking about walking the whole way, and then I thought about it some more, and then I thought that was a shit idea. So I've got the Big Red. It's had a few modifications, to say the least, but given its age and the abuse that it's been through, and she's going strong. But there's nothing on the land at the moment at all. Sometimes we rent the land out to a local farmer, and all the brakes on this are crap. And then sometimes there's horses that live here, but there's nothing here at the moment. It's just land and we're letting the grass grow. There she is. She's a beaut. A wider front track, no brakes. Because this isn't an operational farm, occupational, safe and healthy and safe, or whatever the fuck they're called, I don't even know. They don't know. And that's fine. Secret squirrel. I feel like Kelvin. I don't know if any of you noticed, but Kelvin started putting subtitles in his videos because he was talking very quiet. That was my idea. That bar is where horse food lives. And I think you guys know that I like to take the piss a lot. Like a lot. And it's quite a thing to be able to say, hey, do you want to come out to my farm and check out my lake and go out on my boat, or we can sit on the dock and have a wine. Not that I drink wine, but when you say that it sounds really impressive, and the reality of it is it's a dam that just feeds all the troughs. It's a little boat that never was a project that never really happened, and a wee dock, but I like it. There's no fish in there. That's really low actually. Well, I sat at that spot for about 10 minutes. Not a lot going on. It's pretty quiet really. But it's really pretty down here. I mean, check this out. It's like some Lord of the Rings shit or something. This hill here has got a lot of lead in it because we used to shoot from way back up at the house with the big boy guns, and we had some targets set up just down on the bottom here, kind of just in front of this hill. Oh, those were good times. And I'm still a little bit sore about the way that all that went down, but like, I get it, but it's a conversation for another day, I think. Or if we already had it, we just need to accept it. And it's probably more the case. Anyway, we're just coming up on a ridge that on the other side of is a bit of bush, and rabbits like it over there, so we'll just go a little bit quiet and see what we can see. So this is kind of middle-ish, and it's kind of one of the other highest points. So we walk down from back over here, and then down there goes into a bunch of bush, and then it eventually goes back up the ridge onto the road. And there's a little box there that's got fibre internet, and they won't connect me to it. Fucks. Well, since there's not really anything in the way around of rabbits that I've seen, let me tell you about this rifle. I feel like Kelvin again. This is great. This is a early 1940s Walther. It's a 22 bolt action. It's my granddad's, and I inherited it when he passed away, and I learnt to shoot on this. I've taught family to shoot on it. I've taught friends to shoot on it. Like, basically this is the first gun I would take anybody to if they were like, I want to shoot a gun. I would start here. It's got a really nice action to it, but it's I think personally that a bolt action 22 is something that you should have before you get a 10-22, unless you're experienced. And the only reason that is it just teaches you good discipline, and good discipline is everything with shooting. So when I was 13, 14, 15, I was on the high school shooting team at the school that I went to. I was alright. I didn't really take it that seriously, but those were good times. I was just sort of, even before then, like I remember in Germany, my granddad took me to a rifle range, and it was an outdoor large bore, but it was like still indoor. It was weird, and they had all the go your targets and stuff. And I just remember having an absolute ball. They had all sorts of cool stuff. From where I left the motorbike to here is probably about a 15-minute walk. And it's actually really cool down here because it goes down into some bush. There's tuies. As I came down into the bush, I saw some rabbits. And they saw me. And they ran. There's actually a spot down there where when I got my first Nissan Safari, I drove it all the way down here. I got it stuck down there, and it was the first time I had to use the winch. And I had it like 2 days. I had no idea what I was doing. But it certainly chewed out the land. See, right in that middle bit there. It's a bit of a dip. Can't really tell on camera. But it was wet. And we got stuck. So many birds. What's it doing? For anyone who's like, oh man, I wish I could ride my motorbike, this is absolutely no comparison. This thing's held together by sticky tape and fucking zip ties. But it's done a lot of hours, and it's still going. Just. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but this thing ain't getting any fucking better. But I did remember this morning that I've actually got some free weights down here, but I do think they're a bit rusty, so I'm just going to find them and then maybe give them a quick tidy up, and then I'll have some free weights and be able to do something. But the other thing is, it's a project I've been putting off for fucking ages. It's not a small one, but it's more just I don't have the stuff for it. But basically, I don't know if you guys remember, but about 4 years ago, my house I live in now burnt down, and we were able to save the kitchen bench tops, and they're absolutely amazing. And what I want to do is turn them into a computer table. I don't have steel here, and obviously can't get any, so I can't do the whole project now, but what I can do is do some planning. And you know, what's that thing about the P's? Prudent planning prevents piss poor performance, or I think that's actually right, go me. So I just want to do some measuring and see what I can do. So this is basically what I'm working with. It's plenty thick for what I want to use it for, so taking some thickness out to get a better finish isn't really a concern. The problem that I have is that this is 645 wide, and the longest piece before it tapers off is 1600. Now the desk I'm using at the moment is 1800 by 750, which I don't mind if it's actually a little bit narrower because it is plenty wide, but I do want that depth. So, but there are four different pieces that I think adding them all up will be good. What I now need to work out is how I'm actually gonna put all those together. Like I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on lockdown. I think I need to go and get some I don't even know. I think I might need to watch some Jimmy Direster and actually figure out how the best way to do that is. But I think there'll be more than enough to do the main desk, and then the other good thing is I think there'll be plenty left over to do. I want to do a standing table that's about yay high. It only needs to be like not massive, but just for doing shit like this. Be like, oh look, here's the new phone, and oh fuck, I've got a new phone to review. Oh well, I'll get to that in a sec. Anyway, the point is, I think there's going to be enough, and that's good, so that project can move forward. So I think all I'll be able to do at the moment under lockdown is just smooth it out and make it nice and take care of it. Really, it's been sitting there for 2 years drying out, so that's good. Planning, that's what we're doing next. Oh yeah, so those are 10s between them. That's not nothing. I mean, more would be nice, and you can put them both on one maybe, but let's give them a quick tidy up. These actually aren't in too bad shape. There's just a little bit of light surface rust on the grip, so I'll tidy that up and these should be alright. Okay, this entire plan has gone to shit. I do need to do some math and figure out the exact sizes of each piece of wood that I have, and then put that into a plan of what I'm going to be left with after I've got the main part of the project, which is fine, that's easy enough done. There's also no power down here for some reason. I assume it's been turned off. That's cool. But I did find some old grip tape from a mountain bike. So I'm just going to use that to cover the things. At least we get a small victory and I can lift some fucking weights. Yeah. But I can go take some photos with that camera, so I'm going to go do that. Let's go do that. While it's nice out, I thought I would come and try out the camera on the Galaxy S20 Ultra. I did actually, as you guys probably know, I went to the launch thing of this and had a good hang around with it, but it's always different when you get it real world. What I will say is that the marketing around this is, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's misleading, but what people don't seem to understand is that they're saying things like 108 megapixel camera. It isn't. It's not a 108 megapixel sensor. If you want a 108 megapixel sensor, camera is going to cost you about that many $1,000. What it does do is I'll find out the specs and I'll put the review up and everything, but basically what it does is it's upscaling. Like, you know how your TV can upscale 1080 DVDs to 4K? It's basically doing the same thing. That being said, it is probably one of the best mobile cameras that I've ever had the pleasure of playing with. The one thing I would say, actually, let me just try it out, because the zoom on this thing, it's got a 100 times zoom, which sounds cool. Oh, how do I get it? Oh, so you can't do it on that mode. Okay, so do that. And we go, okay, 100 times zoom. It isn't a great image. And that's purely because it's digital. But what it does do is you can zoom up to 10 times optically, which means you've got the full image. You're not having any digital additions at all. I did actually have a good hoon on the Pro mode with this, and if you know your numbers, it does a good digital representation of emulating those things, and you can get some pretty cool photos out of it. The night that we were up there, we kind of stayed and had a few beers for a couple of hours and just basically played with the camera and hung out, and it does really, really well in Pro mode if you know what you're doing. But fundamentally, this, I mean, unequivocally, this is the best camera on a phone that I've ever used. But it's not what people think it is, and that's the thing that's important. But I'm actually gonna wait for sunset. It's only about nearly 7, so oh, actually, in terms of size, if you want a comparison, that's the Note 10 Plus, and that's the S20 Ultra. So they're actually quite comparable in size. This one's got a case on it. They're actually really similar next to each other. But yeah, look out for a review on that, and I'm going to go and actually get stuck into editing this video because that's something to do while we're on a fucking lockdown. But thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. We've got some projects to do and some things to carry on with, so hopefully it made your day just to go that little bit quicker. And if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe. We do cool shit all the time because we're not usually on fucking lockdown. So yeah, but actually I'll leave you with a little something that I've been learning on the guitar, again just to pass the time. Hope you like it. We'll see you next time.